If your video ads are struggling, then almost always Reels placement performance is poor. Just go to the breakdowns and check placements and see which of the placements are poor, and you will mostly see that in video ads either the story or the reel is performing very poorly. So, and video ads that do well in feed might struggle in reels also. So in this video we'll go through exactly how to optimize your video creatives for reels and how is it different from optimizing for feed, because both are different. This is the feed which you can see in the left, this is the reel. You see the difference? There is too much distraction available in the feed, but on the reel there is no distraction available. That's the first common difference, and even other comments are available, and then the real estate you have on the reel is complete, while on the feed it is nearly half. So the way you approach the videos also differs. Let's get started. After the feed placement algorithm spends most amount of money on reels, but the best part is reels are still cheap because Mark himself has said the reels is still under monetized, which means they are not able to place as many ads possible, and they are still looking to place more ads there. So if this is true, then reels are cheap and reels can give you the best CAC if you optimize it better. So how do you take advantage of this? How do you make reel ads that are native to reel placement and also convert well? Let's get started. Here are key areas of focus. Number one, reels are consumed in a passive escapist mindset. If you think about it, the picture I showed on the one side feed and the other side reel is more of passive escapist mindset, while feed demands more attention. It requires more effort to actually go through the feed because there's too many things. You have stories in the top, you have then comments in the bottom, people are sharing long captions, and they are a mix of images and videos, whereas reels, it is just videos and consumed in passive escapist mindset. So what's the action we can take from here? It means unlike feed ads where people might stop to read a caption, instead in reels people are scrolled through in a lean back mode. People will not stop if your video or visual is not impressive. They'll not stop ending up research. So what is the tactical move here? Use trending sounds or relatable themes in the video so that people are grabbed by the visual. You don't have any text to convey, unlike in feed. So to sneak your product into their world without feeling as an ad is what reels should be doing. If you can sneak your product wherein it is more escapist, lean back, and people might not have to apply more cognitive load when thinking about your product or just watching the video, then it's a good reel ad. Number two, the scroll swipe is ruthless. You have mere seconds to grab attention. In reels, the scroll is pretty fast. I would bet, I don't have any data, but I would bet that in reels it is faster than in feed, because you find the video, there's no other distraction. If the video is good, you watch. If the video is not good, you just swipe. But whereas in feed, if the image is good or bad, whatever it is, you might read the comments, you might read comments from other people. So all those interactions are there. And in reels, people don't usually ask for comments below and everything. It is mostly consume and go, consume and scroll, consume and scroll. So on reels, people swipe through content way faster than feed. So what is the tactical move here? Start with a high impact visual, particularly with the hooks, like surprises, shocks, facts, did you knows, that sparks curiosity or questions. For example, if you are selling a travel bag, start with an impossible shot, like throwing the bag into the air while packing it in mid-flight, creating a moment of intrigue there. This creates a moment of intrigue and grabs the attention of the user. Next, sound is a huge part in reels, whereas it is overlooked element in reel ads. Most people assume that because people watch feed with sound off, they'll watch reels also with sound off, but Facebook itself has confirmed that people watch more and better with sound on and for longer duration. So optimize for sound on, not for sound off. So unlike in feed ads where you rely more on visuals, reels sound can become a core part of your differentiation. So what is the tactical move here? Use voiceovers that don't sound like ads. Don't try to read a template. try to have a conversation with the user. Make it conversational, humorous. Introduce those human-like voiceovers instead of having just robotic voice which pauses with every full stop and there is a periodic way of communication. It becomes monotonous. Instead, avoid that. Add music to your communication. Pair it with an ad of trending song or music tracks. Next, reels are fast paced and spontaneous, so overproduction can be a kill. Reels are made as a thing that is spontaneous, whereas feed is more polished and everything. So, what is the tactical move here? To have ads that don't look like ads, to have less of polished ads and more of camera footage ads or phone camera ads. This creates more relatability as people can see your product in a good setting that they can also relate to. This way, it will create better aspect and better performance on your reel ads. Number 5. Reels thrive on relatability. The closer to a personal experience and the better. Because feed can be more of aspiration. Reels is more relatability. So, reels succeed when people like them, people who are watching, see people like them doing things they want to do. Whereas feed ads is people watching other people who are not like them, they are mostly higher their status sort of from them, and they are doing things they might never dream of, which the viewer might never dream of. So what is the tactical move here? If you are selling a home decor, say for example, don't show a picture perfect mansion. Show an average apartment with someone living in it, because this creates more relatability content, and then introduce your product that elevates the experience of the home. This creates a highly engaging visual which creates both aspiration as well as relatability. Relatability is the existing average home, whereas your product creates a sense of aspiration to own it. That gives them a future which they like, that is an elevated home. Next, talk about topics people like to watch. If you go through reels of most people, they'll have either 3 topics to always filled with. It is travel, food, friends, relationship and humor. That's 5 topics. These are the only topics that are covered. So try to blend in your product into these topics, like 5 topics. But you might say, if I am selling a skincare, what I do, I cannot talk about food, I cannot talk about friends. Actually, you can talk about. For example, you can start with a food angle that this apple has so many vitamins, and this serum, which is made up of apple, also has so many vitamins. Apple inside your body can help you with XYZ, but apple applied outside, apple juice or something, can help you with ABC. So that is the kind of thing you can relate to. That is the kind of blend you can bring when you know that these are the 5 topics that are prominent in your most of the customers' feed. So tactical move is tie your product to these popular themes. For example, if you're selling a backpack, show it in a travel context. Someone hiking or traveling or heading to on a spontaneous road trip with friends. So both are covered, both travel and friends. Spontaneous road trip is what everyone yearns for. Next, need to show how this product blends in a normal everyday life. Because reel ads thrive on relatability, you'll have to show how your product blends in perfectly with your daily life without much effort from the customer. For example, show your product being in real life scenario without screaming that it is an ad. Next, avoid direct product introduction. Instead of saying directly that this is the product, this is what it does, blend in the product. That is, I'm repeating these points again, but there is a requirement to blend in the product into something that is people are already existing using. For example, we are selling a fan, then instead of saying about the features and everything, we start blending in the product wherein on the table you can keep the fan, because people can relate, people work from home and they can relate to them working on a table on their laptop. They can now see that the table fan enhances their experience and improves their life. So that kind of blend needs to be established. Thank you for watching.